the stage to her. I have a few wonderful experiences of hers to share. She is an Ashtanga yoga practitioner, and she's been a trainer over more than 16 years. I'm sure she has touched many lives and has made an impact and a difference to their lives. As a child, I always believed that it was growing up adding years to your life. But as we graduate, we understand we have to add life to our years. And yoga is one of the outlets. And she's been very promotional about it. And I'm sure she's going to give us a few tips as to how to manage ourselves under crisis of, emotional outbursts or whatever the difficulties that we go through every day. For this, I invite Ms. Tasneem Bhopalwala to share her thoughts and views with all of us. Over to you, Tasneem. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Sujata. That was really a nice introduction about me. Felt good. And a very good evening to each and every friend of mine on this platform. As far as my experience with the DDMT course is concerned, let me just tell you that, let me begin from your saying that dictionary, the Oxford Dictionary that we all remember of, having close by our side while we were in school, it used to remain with us. And then as we grew up and we started reading a lot, there were beautiful words that used to come across us. And just out of curiosity and to find out what did it mean and how it was relevant to the context that you were reading, you used to refer to the dictionary and find out the meanings. Now, for me, implicit learning and explicit learning, these words were exactly known to me as much as I would have known from a dictionary point of view. So there was a time I came across these words, I went to the dictionary and I read it over there and felt, oh yeah, I know what implicit and explicit learning is all about. And to my surprise, here I was in the Diploma D Master course and everything was like, was it an aha moment or much more than that? That is when I came to know the true meaning of implicit and explicit learning. I understood how could these words be practically used as a trainer and moreover as a human being. So I thought of that when I was going through this course, that if I had to be a mother and if I would have met Arunji and this program before being a mother, I would have learned so much how to teach my child and get things done from him. It did not stop over there. My experience kept on making me more curious and curious. For every learner, or rather, let me put it this way, for every trainer right now on this platform, we always wanted to deliver our topic to our participants. Now, did I ever dream of understanding that the word topic, which is so small, would have a process and that also 17 long steps to understand that process? No, not at all. So that definitely came as an aha moment to begin with. And then what happened? And then I thought, I knew the process. I have understood, okay, now I have understood the topic, I have understood the process. Then what happened? Then I thought, okay, I know my topic, I know how to, I know I have all the content, and then now I have to present it. But to present it to whom? Was I presenting it to myself? Yes, it seemed to me that way until and unless the topic came in where we understood archetypes. And I was like, okay, something more to learn and something more to explore. But that was not the end, my friends. Then what happened? I literally felt that my brain was out of my head and I had to gather it. I was able to gather it with the beautiful hats that I kept on wearing throughout the learning of the dimensions that the learning brought us with wearing different colored hats. And now I thought, okay, yes, I am into the gear. I understand it all. But I was stumbled like like that ball which comes in and you are clean bowled. I was stumbled just to know that if I have to be with my participants and I have to let them be with me throughout my presentations, I just have the first 7 seconds. And to be impactful in those 7 seconds, the question that arises, how do we do it? And that is what was taught to us in our DDMT course about a beautiful opening, an impactful opening. Opening itself had so many dimensions. The time that I have right now is not enough for me to explain that. And then, if there is an opening, we did not know how impactful a closing could be, because whatever we have started with, we want that to be retained by our participants. So definitely an impactful closing was also taught to us I forgot my English for now. Systematically. Nevertheless, I can go on and on and on with my aha moments with this course. But how did this course get this aha moment? It could have not got it without the super master trainers that we had with us. Definitely Arunji and Vediji. They just completely, they showed compassion. They showed knowledge of, the complete knowledge that they had, that they were ready to give it to us. And they gave it to us in such a beautiful manner that we enjoyed our journey throughout till date. Like 3 months have gone by, but we are still expecting another 2 months. We enjoyed it thoroughly. But why did I choose to be with Arunji's Diplomat D Master course? All the trainings that I have taken and that we all have taken in the last 2 years, we have heard of trainers coming with a saga story. But you know what? When I met my guru, Arunji, when he told his story, it made me feel immediately that this person has made success his slave right from the beginning of his career. So what a better place to start learning and becoming the master trainer. But let me not end this experience of mine of Diplomat D Master without mentioning my beautiful friends that I have made throughout this journey. Without you all, my journey was totally unbeatable, unreachable, and it was priceless to have you friends in my life. So thank you so much. And thank you, Arunji, for this wonderful experience that I am having. And I'm sure I'll keep on continuing having till I'm alive on this earth.
Very well said, Tasneem. Excellent, excellent. Let us clap all.
Let us all put our hands together for
Tasneem,
deliverance.
Very well said.
And the impactful statements. 1, about the word topic, beautiful elaboration. Second thing, you said your brain is out of your head, but we endorse it is very much there the way you have delivered. And the third thing is, we all echo your feelings about the journey over these weeks during DDMT. You too are a priceless community member for us. That's what we say. Thank you so much. Dear friends, I just on a lighter note wish to inform that Arun sir would not be joining us for reasons better known. He said he would, he requested us to proceed with our presentation schedule. And now from the impact speaker, I move on to introduce the guest speaker for the day. But I request everyone to mute the microphones because it's a gesture of respect and honor to the speaker. Kindly, in case of any mobility, do switch your screens off as well. So today evening, it is Mrs. Jyothsna Bharath. Excellence, the word itself reflects her attitude. She's an L&D specialist with over a decade and a half experience in coaching and mentoring. To enhance, this initiative is to enhance the workplace success and advancement. Now, she's highly knowledgeable and a human dynamics expert and a cultivator of adult learning theories at various levels of hierarchy, especially at the organizational level. Now, with all confidence, her interfaces with customers, suppliers, and internal and external partners is something that is noteworthy, and it has become a trusted advisor concerning businesses. She, with all expertise, manages her strengths and her contribution, especially during projects, and her strengths are acute planning, research, and coordination. Her interpersonal skills are excellent, and I am a testimony to that I have experienced it. And her communication skills is just, wow, that's the way I can, predict her communication. Her abilities in designing and implementing various training programs is something that we all look forward to with a greater experience. And she also demonstrates superior leadership skills, coupled with the ability to acclimate and thrive in a dynamic and in a very fast-paced environment. She's currently an independent enterprise architect and takes up projects with corporates and educational institutions. Now, back to her credentials. She has a management degree from Symbiosis and has done her executive program in business management from IIM Calcutta, one of the prestigious institutions of India. She's a certified enterprise design thinker and a practitioner. A little more to her forte, a transformational leadership coach, a certified business mapping process associate. And over the last decade and a half, she has been successful in transforming many lives with tangible scales and growth. And her strong ethic and belief and tenet is leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. So let us watch out how the impact, to what extent the impact is going to be placed on us today with our presentation. Let us all put our hands together and welcome Mrs. Jyothsna Bharath, who's going to present the topic, Excellence in Execution. Let us put our hands together for her. Mrs. Jyothsna Bharath, a warm welcome from all of us. And now the stage is yours. Over to you.
Thank you so much. That was indeed overwhelming, Sujata. But on a serious note, I know it's not much appreciated to Mr. Arun doesn't appreciate taking time to thank and for giving the opportunity and all. But at the onset, I would certainly love to thank Mr. Arun and all the participants and the audiences over here for taking out time, and Mr. Arun especially for giving me this platform to come back again and to get connected with you people. I think I certainly echo Tasneem's words when it comes to DMT. I've heard a lot about that, and I'm sure all of you are getting a lot of value enhancement in terms of your personal and professional growth from Mr. Arun, a very learned, experienced, and erudite. And without much ado, let's dive into my session today. The agenda for the session is, let me just set it right to you guys. Excellence in execution. It's basically, I'm not going to talk about what is a mindset and what is a behavior. I just want to take you through some, how organization, what is the archetype, what they have been following to ensure that the strategy, what they follow, have been executed well for them to survive well in the market for years together and create a brand for themselves. So that's the agenda for today. It's not about the mindset, or I'm not going to coach you or teach you or train you about any sort of behavior skills or mindset skills. It's just understanding how the market is performing. So on that note, let me just share my screen without much ado, and let's get started.
Are you able to share the screen? And we have given the rights. Thank you.
In fact, I just finished my session at 7:10 on planning and organizing. So I had to really plan and organize this session of mine. So let's get into the session. I hope all of you are able to see my screen.
Yes.
Just give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. So excellence in execution, the name itself is self-explanatory. So when you talk about excellence, you talk about the quality of being very good. The quality of being very good is what we mean by excellence. Execution, implementation. If we break the words, a lot of people, execution as implementation, execution as a word, you may not find it with relevance to a strategy. Execution as a standalone word might have something to do with capital punishments. That's what comes to the mind when you say that it's execution. But execution, here we are referring to, and with reference to the management, with reference to the strategy, with reference to business growth, organizational development. Okay. So in essence, execution excellence is the ability to carry out a plan in an outstanding manner that your competitors, so that to generate customer preference. Now, in basic, simple terms, if I have to put it in a layman's term, it's a commitment to raise the level of productivity, quality, and consistency, especially in the present scenario of this pandemic. So it's your commitment to raise the level of productivity, quality, and consistency as compared to your competitors to generate customer preference. That's what excellence in execution in today's time means. Okay, somebody's asking for admit. Okay, let's move on. Why is excellence in execution so important? Why focus on, or rephrase it, why focus on excellence in execution? Now, I'm going to put you in breakout rooms, and this would be for 15 minutes. I want you to please brainstorm, put in your thoughts, put in your perceptions, your understanding as to why is excellence very important in executing your strategy or executing your thoughts, whether it's your personal life or professional life. However, it would be great if you could keep it relevant with the industry or with a business point of view. So Sujata, can I put them in the breakout rooms? We have 47 people.
Yes,
so can I, yeah, 5 rooms?
Yeah, we have 40.
Okay?
Yes, I think that should do.
Rooms have been created, madam. Rooms have been created and opened.
Okay. Suma or whoever, Suma, in room number 4, there are only 3 people. So, Mr. Arun, room number 4 has only 3 people. Yeah, we just have another 4 more minutes left. Let me just send a message to them.
Jyothsna, I'm in room number 2 already.
Okay.
So I just logged in from my phone also so that I don't miss a word.
Acha. ठीक है. No worries. Thanks.
Mr. Suresh is asking for help from room number 4.
Yeah, I'm just going there. Okay, welcome back. I hope all of you had a great discussion, a great brainstorming with your own experiences. You must have put forth your experiences as to how well you executed your projects while you were working, or what were the hurdles you failed when you did not execute it properly. So what was the how did it work against you? So I think excellence in execution is extremely important. And I heard some great, I went into each room and I could hear some real good brainstorming, good points coming out. Before you present it to me, I just want to tell you, in 1950 era, there was a criminal called Willie Sutton. Now, he was asked why he why he robbed the banks. He was quite, robbing the banks at a very high frequency. And he allegedly just replied one thing: that's where the money is. Similarly, why leaders should focus on excellence in execution? Because that's where the phenomenal opportunity is, as most organizations are still very poor at it. And this is not what I'm saying. This is what the figures say, the statistics say. That we are going to discuss in the forthcoming slides. But before we move on, I would like to understand from each room what they have discussed. Can I have room number 1, please?
Can you stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, sure.
And give the right also. Right for sharing.
Okay, let me just see.
You can take help from.
Sujata, if you could let me know.
It is already given.
Yes, sir has given it to everyone.
Thank you.
Anilji, we are room number 3.
Okay, room number 1, could you please present it?
I'm representing room number 1. I'll just share my screen.
Just 5 minutes, or rather, if you can summarize in 3 minutes time.
Yes, we are in room number 3.
No, I said summarize in 3 minutes time. Yeah.
So from room number 1, why is excellence in execution required? So the vision and the mission has to be there, and the plan has to be put into execution. And execution in itself, if it is not followed, then the stakeholders, the employees, and the customers will not be happy. Also, there was an example of this company, Nike shoes. So just the Nike shoes, they just profess that just do it. So that is actually, holding onto the execution part. Then for execution to be proper, team's vision should be there, quality should be there, regular meeting should be there, and accountability of the situation should be there. So that is when the execution will be held properly and regularly. So self-satisfaction should be there amongst the employees. And these are all, at random, the sentences or words, so may not link to each other. But even when I'm going through, the structure is affected, the morale of the employees is affected. If execution fails, then the time for planning has to be given. So I don't know how to, but just I'm going ahead. Nations are grappling with the pandemic and the COVID situation, where most of the importance lies in executing the activities amongst a huge.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahesh. I get a gist of it. Thank you so much. However, you also seem to have put regular meetings and all. You're telling me how it should be done. My question was, why is it important? But you gave the reasons as well as to how it is to be done.
From the members of
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahesh and team. Fantastic job done. You're almost there. I'm sure your experiences must have poured in for this kind of brainstorming. Can I have room number 2, please, quickly?
Jyothsna, room number 2, I'm representing, and can I just have this screen share? A few ideas that came up from all the team members. Why focus on excellence, especially at the organizational level? We need to focus. If you need the desire to achieve all your ideas, get them strategized. All right. And if the focus required is to stay ahead of the competition. And there's one more factor that adds to why focus the excellence, that is thriving and surviving resources are, a great strength to the strategy. Now there's this acronym, unlikely not the word SAD, but strategy, approaches, and development. This is something that can be, one of the outcomes if excellence is focused. And when one's ability to carry out the plan in an outstanding manner, definitely why the focus on excellence is truly reflected. Sustainability is one of the greatest dimensions if this is continuously pursued. And if the mindset is result-oriented, then the need to focus on excellence is required. Now, coming to certain points from different members, we also have an idea to share that, while the focus on executing excellence at all management levels always results in a better implementation. The question is, what did we really mean by execution? How we have reflected it. So the excellence execution should come from the top to the bottom, unlikely top to bottom, which is always an accentuation. And each and every personnel has to be involved if the excellence has to be focused and the execution has to be done. Congruency, that is all resources being brought together, their alignment, or the optimal dimension also. They add to the reason why we need to focus on executing excellence. Last but not the least, this focus should be more customer-based. It should bring in a cost optimization, and this will lead to quality improvisation. Hence, we are striving towards excellence, which will definitely bring in a robust management strategy. For all the above reasons from room 2, we say we have to focus excellence on education for all these reasons. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sujata. So should I assume that all these are the thought processes poured in by your team members out of their experience?
Yes, absolutely. It's a teamwork, team effort.
No. Thank you so much. Room number 3, please. Good job. Excellent.
Thank you.
Good evening, Jyothsna.
Stop sharing. Yes.
I will just share. I'll just share my screen. So good evening, everyone. I am representing room number 3, and all the members gave quite valuable insights when it came to talking about excellence in execution and why is it important. So we came up with certain points that were, number 1, your brand value escalates. So as your execution is excellent, you actually stand apart from the crowd. So your brand value escalates. We become more customer centric. The customer looks out for us and we are on the lookout for customers. Our ROI increases. The return on investment obviously increases. We are more time conscious. We believe in time is money. So time is something we work upon and we are more conscious with time. We are ahead of our competitors. Obviously, when we are a brand and we are customer centric, we are ahead of our competitors. Employee involvement and customer satisfaction achieved. The employees are completely involved. Whoever is there is working to the optimum, and that is why customer satisfaction is achieved. We become process oriented. We do not depend on one person. So basically, it's all a process game. Organization of data leads to quick retrieval. So completely the data is very well organized and inventory is reduced, and that is why the operational costs are very low. There is no, it is a better risk management. The company knows everything and they can take risks because they know about the time and the money involved. So optimal use of resources are also there. Regular audits happen to follow compliances, and achievement of vision, mission, and goals also happen once you excel in execution. Timely completion of projects and emotional happiness and contentment of employees, from the company, everything. we had a defense personnel in our team who actually contributed the last parting quote, that was, if you sweat more in peace, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. That means more you plan for excellence, less you will suffer in execution.
Thank you so much, Shilpa. Shilpa, but however, could you please throw light on point number 13? What is regular audits 13. To follow compliances to do with excellence in execution?
So regular audits to follow compliances means that since the execution is excellent, the audits, the compliances happen very soon, and regular audits will make the time frame less.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well explained. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I have room number 4, please?
Very well. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm representing room number 4. I have no paper points. I'm just going to orally highlight what the discussion we had, because initially we thought it was excellence in education, then we moved to excellence education execution. What I want to highlight is excellence is setting standards. The moment you talk about standards, you also work out on raising the bar every time you move about. It's a continuous process. And here there is a higher amount of importance that's given right from the thought to the planning to the execution. It has to be of the highest standards, and there need to be a team cohesion. And in case of production unit, right from sourcing the raw material to storing the raw material, processing the raw material, making the finished goods, packaging, and reaching to the customer, and the customer utilizing that. Till that stage, every level, the executional excellence need to be looked into it. It has to, execution, why excellence in execution? 3 aspects. 1, it is the only way an organization can stand out on the higher pedestal, beat competition, and make a brand for itself, and sustain its growth, which is there. And in addition to it, you will also find that excellence, I would say, is not a one-time aspect, but it's a habit. Hence, excellence is not something that is done only one time. It has to be repeatedly followed up and worked out. That is there. Third, every member of the team should understand what are the standards are and how that standards need to be followed, so that they are having a clarity in it. Like when first time the astronauts were sent to moon by USA, right from the janitor to the astronaut, everyone were very clear what they are supposed to do and how they are supposed to do. And the janitor even used to say, I am helping people to send to moon. That means there is a cohesion in the working aspect that happens. And that way, when everyone in the organization, everyone in the team is accountable and put their best foot forward, then there can be excellence in execution. That's our point of view. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Excellent. Bravo. Excellent. I think you have really summed it up well, Suresh and team. I think there was one Mr. Ram in your team, Mr. Ram. I'm sorry, I can't get the name completely. I heard him and he hit the coffin in the nail. We are talking about excellence in execution. We're not talking about execution per se. So room number 3, right? Room number 4. Bravo. Fantastic. Can I have room number 5? Room number 5.
I will share the screen.
Yes, please.
I'll first answer our interpretation of this. Why is it important? To keep pace and be ahead of competition. Be capable to draw the customers also to collaborate, not only for survival and growth, but to lead and take along even for the end customers. It is very important to know that wherever our past strengths were, if we do not excel, they will not be enough for even for current and for future. And understand that the new definition of success, it may not even be spelled out by customers or stakeholders. We need to define and explore ours. And the last point of why, The brand image, whatever is perceived by the customer, has to be continuously fed positively. And definition is clear: ability to surpass standards and set new standards ahead of others. We will do a benchmarking with the past, and we will also do with the future. I will not read out the detail because you will be covering this anyways. And in terms of perspectives, one person that said very well, it is, he said, we have to take all profit, product, processes, places, and people in perspective, and more by commitment and competence and systems and standards. I would summarize here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Atul. That was a good encapsulation of why excellence is important in execution. Thank you so much. Let me get back to my screen, please. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you have done an excellent job. Now, that's one of the reasons I said I'm not going to dwell into what kind of attributes are required, what is the mindset, because by and large, when I gave you this topic for brainstorming, you have covered everything. What sort of mindset is required, what kind of leadership is required, what kind of focus is required, what kind of a strategy is required, and how team building is important, how you need to be persuasive, how you need to have a broadened thought process. All that you have covered, that's one of the reasons I'm not going to touch on that issues in this session. Now, when we talk about, as I said, why is excellence in execution important? Because that's where the phenomenal opportunities. However, after discussing so much, after all of you have presented, the fact remains that we are still poor at it. According to Tom Peters, who is one of the American authors, and he's known for search of excellence. He made a very fantastic quote based on his observations that the thing that keeps a business ahead of the competition, like Atul has just put across, is excellence in execution. If the right strategy is needed to achieve companies' objectives, it is not sufficient. That means strategy alone is not sufficient. Actually, to produce its effects, a strategy must be well executed. Therefore, to create and increase the preference of customers, we have to focus on excellence in execution, irrespective of whatever the company size is, whether you're talking about large cap, mid cap, small cap, whichever industry you're talking about, pharma, retail, service industry, or manufacturing industry, or agriculture industry. Execution is very important. It's not only because it is not only boosting the sales, it is also reducing the cost, as that has been covered by room number 5, right? So, excellence in execution assists leaders in achieving greater than average revenue growth. Revenue growth, of course, it is reducing your overall operational efficiency. It's improving your operational efficiency. It is reducing the sales cost. It is not only boosting the sales, but it is also reducing the costs of improving your operational efficiency. That's what I was trying to say when it talks about average revenue growth. However, the 3 broad themes of execution that needs to happen in your implementation journey to ultimately achieve excellence in execution. The themes are very clear. All of you have spoken about this, excuse me. Create awareness, build excellence, follow through. And I mean, we all know that a strategy looks brilliant because of the quality of execution, isn't it? That's what great researchers and business honchos or people with great business acumen say. Create awareness, build excellence.
Take little water. Take 1 minute break, take water.
Thank you, Mr. Anand. However, according to John Cotter from Harvard Business School, 70% of the strategies fail because of poor execution. That means 70% of the strategies. You can understand that means only 30% are doing well. So whatever you have presented is good in books. But in reality, the ground reality is that 70% of the strategies fail because of poor execution. And you have realized why it is important. We are going to still dwell further and understand what, according to Bridges Business Consultancy in 2002, now this is something which they are into, they're a research company, market research company. And in 2002, when they did a kind of a research, they realized that 9 out of 10 strategy implementations have been failing. Strategy executions have failed, 9 out of 10. This is way back in 2002. That means I'm talking about this century, 2002, this generation. And these results become a wake-up call for leaders. Bridges regularly conducts research, to identify the state of execution. How well are the companies able to execute? Understand the challenges that the leaders are facing. And in 2016, for the latest research which they did, which was as recent as 2016, they interviewed 143 leaders. And 28% were CEOs of the board members, 63% were organization leaders. And the remainder came from other parts of the organization. The majority of the organizations were multinational companies with a revenue of more than $5 billion US dollars a year. And then they came from a variety of industries, including banking, finance, technology, consultancy, government. So this was an improvement which was shown only in 2016. Over the 15 years that Bridges have been conducting its research, strategy execution has improved only by 23%. Was 23%, and it has improved by 23% from 2002 to 67% in 2016. It came to 67% in 2016. That is what the strategy says. And this is also reporting, which is something that has been substantiated by McKinsey, something which they submitted this research way back in 2015, and they said that 70% is a improvement in the execution levels. This is what I was talking about. Over the 15 years, Bridges has been conducting its research. Strategy execution has improved by 23% from 90% in 2002. Strategy execution has improved to 67% in 2016. Execution is Achilles heel of strategy. I don't know if you know what is Achilles heel. Achilles heel is basically, it goes back to Greek mythology. Achilles' mother, the beautiful lady, the nymph Thetis, she was anxious to make Achilles very immortal. So she dipped him in the river Styx. This is as per the Greek mythology. She dipped him in river Styx to make him immortal. But in the process, while dipping him, she just held him by his heel, which remained dry. And that became the most vulnerable spot. So Achilles' heel, as I've put here, it's a weakness in a person or a system which might cause them to fail. Strategy is about execution. If too much emphasis is placed on strategy compared with execution, then it leads to lower level of performance, because leaders become occupied with crafting it rather than executing. They're only making strategies, not focusing on executing. High performance comes from striking the right balance between crafting a strategy and executing it for your organization. So high performance comes only when you are able to strike a right balance. A number of organizations have shifted their thinking from predominantly focusing on strategy to giving a balanced consideration to the strategy and its execution. So it was earlier the focus was only on strategy. They thought that a good strategy means a good execution. Absolutely not. Now the focus has shifted. They are trying to balance it up. This shift represents a pendulum swing. Pendulum swing in the current thinking, it's called a pendulum swing. Let's move on. This is what I was talking about. Crafting strategy. Now, if you look at this picture, the strategic planning was introduced way back somewhere in 1960s, making it absolutely relatively a new topic in business. And since then, these organizations are trying to improve, striving to develop their ability to craft a strategy, and we are still learning. For example, we understand the word strategy, but we don't have a global definition to it. What strategy you follow doesn't suit my organization. Like one size doesn't fit all, one strategy doesn't suit everyone. Therefore, you do not have a global definition to it. The catalyst for the pendulum swinging towards execution came from leaders realizing that strategies are failing more often than succeeding. They realize that strategies, we are making a fantastic strategy, still we are failing instead of succeeding. So, however, the pendulum has started swinging. It's a slow swing, but it has started swinging. And, if you actually research online, you'll find at least 6 times more results for strategy than for execution. The moment you type execution, you will not get it, because that mindset, they feel that having a strategy is as good as, executing the strategy. So when I said that if you do a Google search, the moment you put execution, you will get capital punishments. You'll never come execution with regards to or in tandem or with relevance to a business or an organization. Okay, let's talk about which is more important, strategy or execution. This is a question being asked, but it's truly a moot question. People keep discussing which is important. Strategy, there's no consensus to it because both are equally important. It arose partly because leaders struggled to understand what was involved in the field of execution. They never understood. As an example, two gentlemen, Paul Leinwand, Cesar Mainradi, and R. Kleiner, stated in the 2015 Harvard Business Review. HBR is considered as a gospel truth when it comes to business and organizational development and management issues. That only 8% of the leaders are effective at creating good strategies and executing them. Only 8%. Because most of the leaders are lost. Most of the organizations are lost. They feel that they never understood what you mean by execution. Right? So let's move on. It's a breakout quote, which I really liked it. In fact, part of the leader's challenge is to strike a right balance between crafting the strategy and executing it for their organization. And that's it's a challenging task. Today's leaders appreciate it's not either or situation. It's both a strategy and execution priority. Please remember, they are trying to strike a balance. The question becomes how to achieve excellence. Why you discussed, but how, that's what we're going to discuss. Lloyd Blankfein, the CEO and chairman of Goldman Sachs, stated that for a company in Goldman's position, the response to current tough conditions is not wholesale strategic change, but rather one of the tactical execution. For us, good strategy is effective execution. Now the pendulum has started swinging slowly from the 60s. It came early 2016s. They realized that the pendulum is moving at a slow pace, but however, executions are taking place, execution in terms of strategy. Now, as we are in this initial stages of discovering what it takes to achieve excellence in execution, today's business pendulum, as I said, is swinging towards execution. That means the force is required to gain momentum, especially the skills for strategy execution are absolutely new to many leaders. I'm sure most of you are working. By default, you feel you make a strategy and it falls in place well and good. If it doesn't fall, you feel that, okay, I had a great strategy, but it failed because of some reason. So you start working on the strategy instead of understanding that your execution has failed. That means somewhere there was a lacuna, a gap between your strategy and the execution. That's what is all about the pendulum swinging towards execution. But I think it will, however, take a global transformation and there will be a right balance in the years to come. Again, this is something what the HBR says. The top most common corporate-wide initiatives to be implemented. This is something which is like, what should be the common initiatives that organizations should look at? Already most of you have covered vision, mission, and values, crafting the new corporate strategy, digital mindset. We are in the digital world, so we are talking about digital mindset. And we are going to talk about that later. The top 3 reasons for implementation failing are poor communication, lack of leadership, and using the wrong measures. This also most of you have during your presentation. Why excellence in execution is important, you have already discussed. So I will not dwell further into, I'll not go much into it. According to HBR, there are 4 ways to be more effective at execution. Just a touch base, let's understand. One is be clear and methodical. Now, why I say the name itself is very clear. If you are quick to jump into action and tend to start project without a well-organized plan of attack, or if you get a feedback on the lack of planning and organization, this suggestion might be one to focus. You need to be clear and methodical. Unless you have a plan in place, please do not jump into action. Having the discipline to organize people, assemble resources, and then generate a plan that others can commit or your team members can commit so that you can collectively have good execution. That's the first point. Please be clear and methodical. People who are running their own companies, something which is very important. Stretch goals and deadlines. Now, setting stretch goals helps the group achieve their objectives, generate greater engagement and satisfaction in team members. But please don't go overboard. You can stretch it, but don't go overboard, else it might basically lead to employee burnout. Sometimes, too much of pushing can erode trust, and that will hurt the execution of your company goals in the long run. So please don't go overboard. Give more feedback and a positive feedback. This is all about improving execution through intrinsic motivation rather than only goals and deadlines. I mean, rather than through goals and deadlines, that's one aspect, but also please, intrinsic motivation is very important, and leaders who are great executors are skilled at giving feedback, a constructive, healthy feedback. Last but not the least, the fourth point we were discussing, resolve conflict and build team unity. I think this is, all of us know this. It is not just about boss motivating team members. The expectations of the peer team, our peer team members, the subordinates are extremely powerful motivators, in addition to the boss motivating the team members. And creating this kind of team culture is an important element of good execution. So while there are a lot that goes into building high performance teams, there are a lot of things that goes. In our experience, perhaps the biggest, I'm sure all of us have been leading a team somewhere or other during a corporate life tenure. The biggest single thing for any leader is to focus on resolving the conflicts. I think I had a lot of, you have different mindset in your team. So it's very important to maintain that sanity by resolving the conflicts rather than withdrawing or avoiding. And this is because many problems within the team come from differences of opinions in the team members, right? So this is very important. Conflict should be is constructive. It should be constructive. It should not be destructive or personal. Okay, let's move on. The research shows that balancing all the four of these factors is a strategy that will improve execution most of all. Now, powerful execution tip. This is something which I was reading. I thought I should bring it to your notice. This is from the HBR article. If your strategy does not provide a competitive advantage, then excellence in execution needs to provide it. Strategy is not working, at least execute with utmost excellence in it. The reach, you should be at par with the best in the market. Now this is, okay, now I just wanted to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I told you at the beginning of the session that the session agenda is just to take you through an archetype which organizations have been following inadvertently or advertently. Whether you talk about a retail shop or a big company with a turnover of some crores or some billions, or you talk about a mid-cap organization, you talk about whichever industry you're talking about, they have been a certain archetype which they follow. And what is that archetype? That's what I wanted to take you through, so that you get an understanding as to how these organizations are performing. And then we are going to have a case study. Okay, this is something which is self-explanatory. Please don't be overwhelmed with the information, but this is very important. Please pay attention. Mission, purpose, this is a strategic square. Mission, purpose, values, vision. Then you have strategy, which is objective, key tactics, organization. And once you have these two in place, you have expected outcomes. Now, the question is purpose. Why do we exist? Now, this is very important for you, ladies and gentlemen. Why do we exist? Vision. What do we aspire to become? Mission. What do we do and for who? Values. What do we believe in and how do we behave? Objectives. What do we want to achieve? Strategy. Way to play and how to play. Organization. What activities, processes, structure, and culture do we put in place to execute the strategy? Key tactics. How are we going to execute the strategy? Important question. Performance. What we have qualitatively and quantitatively achieved, and what are the gaps and why, if any. Now, this slide is very important because you are going to have a case study. So please pay attention to this. Let's move on. This is called the SMART strategic model. SMART, all of you know what is the meaning. I'm sure all of us have been into this. This is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, or relatable time-bound strategic models. These are the principles. Now, the strategic model with respect to strategy and organization, you see the policy makers here competitors' company. Basically, this is a competitive landscape analysis. This is nothing but a competitive landscape analysis. You're talking about companies' assets. You're assessing the assets of the company. It could be resources, it could be human resources, skills, machinery, manpower, the services. What are the assets the company has? And this is completely, as I said, this is the situation and trend analysis. Once you do a situation and trend analysis, this is how companies, when they want to launch or when a business has to start, they do a situation and trend analysis. Once they do that, then that leads to strategic crafting. Then they sit together, do a strategic crafting where it's self-explanatory. It's a pyramid. All the three are important. If you see, this marketing and sales strategy should be crafted to raise, whenever you're trying to market yourself. The strategy is, first of all, the customers should know you. So that's basically you're trying to market yourself. So marketing and sales strategy should be crafted to raise customer preference and to create a long-lasting competitive advantage. So here, please understand, seizing market opportunities, combating the market threats, and leveraging competitive strengths. This is what is strategic crafting all about. Seizing market opportunities, combating the market threats, existing market threats, leveraging competitive strengths. That's what your strategic crafting is, and you take into consideration your service, the brand attributes, and corporate reputation. Once you do a strategic crafting, then you design activities, culture, structure, process. Basically, it is talking about the organization should be designed to support the crafted strategy in an efficient way. And the 4 dimensions that you need to consider over here: activities, that means you're talking about your competencies of your company or your product or your services. Structure, the organizational chart. The processes, coordination, decision-making, information sharing, all that. The processes, structure, and activities. And of course, the culture of the company. The culture of the company is made by the amalgamation of all the three. Let's move. Okay, this is the key tactics continued. Now, you remember I spoke about, here. BPM, brand preference mix, very, very important. Very, very important this is. When you talk about the 3 components of this brand preference mix must be activated to bring superior benefits. They are the value drivers to the customers than the competitors do. So what is that one step, what you are ahead of your competitors? That is how you need to, for that benefits to reach to your customers, you have to activate all the 3 components. The market and sales activities team should be aiming at promoting these benefits and convincing the customers to recommend, to buy, to use your services or your products. So it's very, very important that your brand mix is taken care and it's activated. Once you do that, benefits have to be told to the customers. But remember, look at the customer portrait. Customer portrait, needs and wants and preference. Needs. What is needs? Customer preference is driven by these 3. Needs, wants, and preference. Needs are basically fact-based. I need something. Therefore, I go to Amazon. I place an order because I feel that Amazon is genuine with the products, with the brand, and it's reasonable price. And I have an option. I can choose. It's a variety. It's got plethora of options. My want, which is an emotional based. I feel that, Amazon can provide me everything. Name it and I get it in Amazon. One stop shop. One stop shop. But they are limited by their fears. And what is a fear? I am always used to going and buying in a shop because I feel I use kinesthetics. I can feel, touch, I can see, I use my senses. So I'm used to this kind of buying, shopping, and do not wish to change my habits. This is fact-based and emotional-based preferences. So you need to take care of all the 3 if you are planning to get an excellence in your strategy in terms of executing your strategy. Now, let's move on. Now, this is something which I was talking about, BPM, very, very important, key tactics. And this is what big player to small player today in the market are following, knowingly or unknowingly. This is an archetype. BPM, corporate reputation, which are, they are like, with brand attributes and service quality. Service quality and corporate reputation go hand in hand. That is always understood. Features of BPM pillars, what to say, to do and build an appealing image. What should I do? And establish a company as a reliable player. What can I do and how can I build my image? And how to carry these initiatives. We know, but how do we carry? That's the first thing to answer. These are the questions to ponder about. Brand attributes. How to differentiate positively the brand from the competition. There are already several players in the market. It's already a red ocean. It's a bloodbath. How do I differentiate positively? How to highlight these attributes in an effective and efficient way? And to whom these differentiating points to be communicated? Whom should I communicate? That means who are my customer base? Who are my target customers? Last but not the least, you have service quality. What services to create superior difference versus competition? How to make sure that these services are highly valued by the customers? Are they useful, interesting, convenient, well executed, doing any value addition? All these are very important. And please remember, once you are defining your activities to be executive, the quality standards of execution, communication priorities, which is a key monitor, because where each customer stands on the preference ladder, which we are going to talk. You need to understand, where is my customer standing? What does he want? And how to make them move up the ladder so that I also as an organization grow. And once you take care of this, the benefits of the customer are identified with each. You need to identify the benefits for the customer with each factor. And we are going to discuss on that. Okay, this is a expected outcome, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry. Once you do this, this is how it goes. This is for you. Just a self-explanatory thing. It's like this. Preferential first step is when you talk about, okay, 1 second. So the first step, can you all see? I think my thing is blocked.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Yes, we can able to see.
Yeah. What is in step 1?
The smart strategic model expected outcomes.
Yeah, what is in step 1 of the ladder?
Awareness.
So what is awareness? What are we talking about? We are talking about creating an
the
awareness.
Communication, yeah, creating an experience or stimulate or sustain a memorization.
Absolutely. So it should be at the top of the mind recall. That is the step 1 of ladder. If you want to really, this is a smart strategic model which most of the organizations use. They climb up the ladders and then they reach the pinnacle and they are none to beat. Then the small players don't matter to them. Then you move up the ladder, a positive opinion, creating an impact where you are being relevant in terms of your benefits, what you are going to give it to them with your services or your products. Being credible, being legitimate, ensuring high quality of execution. Very, very important. Amazon, a classic example. Supply chain, look at the supply chain management. They give a dedicated date, it reaches on time, exchange policies, return policies, absolutely. Money given to you, given back to you. Nothing. The customer is hassle-free. I'm taken care. My needs are taken care. My wants are taken care. And my emotions are taken care. My fears are addressed. Preferential opinion, step 3, offer higher benefits, significantly distinctive. How are you distinct now from the other players? There is Flipkart, there is Amazon, there is Myntra. Okay, forget Myntra, Flipkart, which has got everything. Flipkart and which tried to compete with Amazon. Higher benefits, significantly distinctive. Today, still people at the top of the mind recall is Amazon. Ensure superior execution. Once you do the preferential opinion, that cups your preferential behavior. Offer attractive experiences, induce unmatchable, be highly desirable. Once you take care of these leverage points, through this ladder, you are inducing a preferential behavior for your products and services. This is about the strategic model, expected outcomes, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly, one important point, strategy and execution must be perfectly aligned to lead to success. Please understand, they should be aligned. I told you about a balance. A pendulum is slowly shifting only from strategy to execution. It has to be balanced. Strategy and executions are closely intertwined, since to achieve an objective, it's necessary to choose a strategy and the activities to be executed to implement that strategy. This is what the SMART model is, ladies and gentlemen, which, as I said, most of the organizations are using. There are many other models which have come into picture. You have market research companies which keep on giving a lot of, ideas and insights into the other models, and they use a lot of trial and errors are going on. But this is one archetype which is common to everyone. Now let's move. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. We are 8:40, just 10 minutes more, please. Case studies are going to be given. You have breakout rooms for 25 minutes, guys. Very interesting. Your topics would be, I have chosen different case studies. If you look at it, one is a retail company, IKEA. One is Starbucks, which is totally into food and beverages. I'm talking about Mumbai Dabbawalas who have got nothing to do with studies, no IIM degrees. Still, their accuracy and precision is one. I mean, it's as good as a Six Sigma. Very, very, very accurate in their execution of delivery of dabbas. Third, fourth, DMT, Diploma de Master Trainer. What is DMT's winning strategy that can be discussed as excellence in execution? So I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. These are the 4 case studies you're going to discuss.
Sorry to interrupt, Jyothsna. How many minutes you require?
Can we give, maybe I actually wanted 15 minutes, but I started quite late instead of 7:15.
No.
By the time,
your schedule 90 minutes will be with you. But the only thing is, how many minutes would you require?
Okay, I think I had 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Okay, maybe another 5-10 minutes after that would do?
Yeah, please. Yes.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take a screenshot. It's very clear. IKEA, what was IKEA's winning strategy? That can be discussed as an excellence in execution. Today, every household is talking about IKEA. One-stop shop for everything. What is its winning strategy? How did it do pretty well in no time? Starbucks, I want to discuss Starbucks business strategy in India. Please mind you that. That can be discussed as an excellence in execution. Mumbai Dabbawalas, sorry, here it's Mumbai Dabbawalas, please pardon me. And DMT. DMT is people, after listening to DMT's people's testimonials, and I was taken aback. I said, yes, DMT has to be a case study. So let's go ahead. Can we put them in the breakout rooms? Sujata?
Yes. Do you have the facilitation?
Okay, yeah. 1 second. Let me just check it.
Sir has given the...
Okay, stop sharing. I'll stop sharing the screen. Please take a screenshot in case you have any doubts so that you can. It's here, Mumbai Dabbawalas, ladies and gentlemen. Please, it's a corrigenda over here.
It's going to take up 1 point, isn't it, out of the 4?
Yeah, only I'll take, no. 1 second. I'll put you in rooms. I'll tell you which room will take what. Okay, I'll tell you. Room number 1 will take IKEA. Room number 2 will take Starbucks. 3 will take Dabbawalas. 4 will take DMT. 5 will also take DMT. If we have 5 rooms, I want 2 rooms to take up DMT.
But only 35 people are there.
Then fine. I think then it is 3 rooms.
4 rooms.
No, 4 rooms. 4 rooms will do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's start it. Let me just stop sharing. So 4 rooms. Room number 1, IKEA. Room number 2, Starbucks. Room number 3, Dabbawalas. Room number 4, DMT. Okay, let me just quickly put you in the breakout rooms. I think we can open all the breakout rooms. 3 and 5. Room number 3 has got only 3 people. Okay. Are you okay? Anil, Narendra, and Rajendra ji.
Maybe you could pull more number of people into that room.
Yeah, so we have 5 and 5, and all the 3 other rooms have 5. So can we just make it?
Make it a 3 room, no?
There are 35 people.
Yeah, but you have to exclude me.
34 then, yeah. That's it.
So is it okay, Mr. Anil, Narendra, and Mr. Rajendra? If you're 3 people?
That's okay.
Very much okay. Very much okay. We are 3
then I'm sure.
We 3
equal to
3
equal to 33 or more than that. Yes. Great minds.
Don't worry.
The Trinity.
Yeah.
I haven't received the invitation for the room. I'm not added in any room. Jyothsna, hello. Jyothsna?
I was in group 5, I got dropped out.
Which room is this?
Mr. Edwin, have you joined any room? Venkata, Peruri, I hope you've been allotted the rooms.
Hello. Yeah, I Suma. Hello. Uh, Suma or Jyothsna is there? Suma, am I audible to you? Basically, there's a yeah, one second. Hello. No problem. That is Suma. That I have in this main room itself. Two of them were in room number 2. Now we are in the main room. Can put you in room number 2. Yeah, Mr. Gupta is there. Vipul Gupta and myself, we are in room number 5. Only two of them. If you can add us into room number 2, please. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Gupta ji, you can join now. Gupta ji, you can join.
Jyothsna, time has exceeded already.
Okay.
Time तो बहुत बढ़ गया already.
8:50 को दिया था ना आपको शायद मैंने?
यार ज़्यादा हो गया time.
अच्छा ठीक है.
8:45 था के.
8:45 लगता है मेरा ही 5 minutes फास्ट हो गया.
नहीं कोई नहीं, हमारे से भी गलती हो सकती है. I don't know. आपको नहीं.
मुझे लगा मेरे टाइम.
हम तो अपने आप वॉलंटियरली बाहर आ गए.
सही बात है.
We are group number 3.
जी.
Excellent.
मुझे लगा
session.
कि मैंने.
Very good. Keep going. Very good.
Thank you.
Great presentation, Jyothsna ji.
हाँ तो यार, you are a rock star यार.
अरे नहीं अनिल जी, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
आप मुझे पहले भी तो मिली हो. कहाँ मिली हो यार? कौन से ग्रुप में मिली हो?
मैं?
You came here also in this?
Yeah, WBT top 10.
Okay. Yes, you are in top 10, है ना?
Just trying to feel good. That's it. इसलिए top 10 बोला. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Just. जी आप म्यूट में हो. म्यूट पे अनिल जी.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. सबको बाहर निकालो.
जी आ गए. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a great discussion. I visited all the rooms and amazing discussions. I could hear some real good valid points. I would like to first understand when I was taking you through a particular slide, did you pay attention there? Which slide am I talking about? Let me just share the screen with you quickly. I was talking about this particular slide. Yeah. Did you all take a screenshot of this? So your discussion was supposed to be based on, I think I very categorically told you, take a screenshot so that you you can get a clarity and a clear picture as to how to approach the case. Right? So nevertheless.
But sorry, we have not gone like that.
That's okay. I heard your conversations. Okay, let's move on. I'll stop sharing. Can I have room number 1, please? Quickly.
इसको stop sharing.
Room number 1. Who is room number 1?
Yeah, room number 1, Mahesh ji was there. I was there.
So, yeah.
There were 3 or more of us were there.
Okay.
But not most of us were not very really familiar with the IKEA. So when we explored IKEA, then we found that it's modular furniture. Although modular furniture in industry has been in prevalence for several decades, but not so often, not very common in India. And there are competitors like Furlenco, Pepperfry, etc. They're only in 4 cities as of now. I think they have announced that they will be coming to NCR also very soon. And their sales have been like not doubling, but very close to that. Although they still haven't made any profits as yet. So this is what we could make out that in terms of making certain things very fast. We used to depend traditionally in the market on carpenters and going to shops like local markets. This they have done away with, and now we can look for a furniture online. Certain threats which are still there. There was a complaint that somebody said that okay, they gave an order, they were serviced the order, but it was somewhere else altogether. So certain like hacking etc. is also prevalent there. So we were not able to do something which was really great, which made them a distinction against Furlenco. In some cases, the company called Furlenco, they said they're even doing modular furniture, even giving them on rent. So they have gone in terms of strategy, in terms of differentiation, they have gone one stage ahead that you take the latest furniture, modular furniture, and you get it after 1 month and take it back. Something like a double bed for 1,000 rupees a month, along with all the furnishings. Okay. So this thing we were not able to find for IKEA, but the time was too short for us to do the research.
That's so okay.
Presenting, I might have missed out some points.
I am in room number 3. If I say IKEA before COVID, they used to have half-kilometer queue there in Hyderabad. So Sujata ji knows they used to have half-kilometer queue. You know, so much rush was there, so much sale was there. People were waiting hours and hours for that. And so much brand value.
Our online search said that it is an online store.
No. That means it's a research was not good enough then, Atulji.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Police, they used to lathi charge to control the crowd.
Fine. Thank you so much. Room number 1. Good attempt. Good attempt. Thank you so much. Room number 2.
Room number 2, Jyothsna, I am representing. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Just a minute. Is it about? Yes. So we have just given a little title here. Everything can happen over a cup of coffee. And I think Starbucks foreign Indian market, I think that's the purpose, that they want to bring the international brand to the most coffee potential ground, India. And I'm sure their vision is to, cater to even to the lowest category of whatever economically or whatever people, and have their brand through. And I think their mission is to cover the greater market, and values are coffee is an integral part of everybody's life. Adding value to that, I think making the family bond even more. This could be one of the values and the objectives is, to bring out the best always. And their tie-up with Tata, I think it goes without saying, a testimony to India's Indian market. And these are the points which we could formulate. What can happen at Starbucks? First thing is the ambience is too complimenting, especially for the work professionals. The transparency of the ingredients, especially the seeds, they are being brewed and they are being served right in front of the customer. And definitely it adds to the aroma of the coffee as well as to the mental aroma of the person. And it has become a style statement. Now India is also catching up with that. And the time that the person wants to spend at that outlet is not limited. That is one of the most flexible factors. And the concoctions that they are offering, earlier, the traditional, it was a decoction. Now it has become a concoction. And I have a few combinations mentioned here. I do not know across India, do they serve this? But definitely there is a service at the doorstep. I think that helps the people who are physically not able to reach out. And there Starbucks is amongst us. And it's a wonderful journey, right from west to east, especially the Indian soil. And one of the prime factors of Starbucks is, if the coffee taste is not satiating, the customer is at liberty to return that cup of coffee and get another served. And another pointer is they have wonderful, amazing captions, which have really helped them add to their journey in India. And of course, association with brand Tatas, it goes without any more evidence that yes, they are the most reputed. And definitely tradition of piping hot coffee has not been lost. It's only a paradigm shift from the Indian kitchen to Starbucks outlet. And the execution part, where its excellence is reflected, the baristas, the way they consider the customer, the way they serve them, the feeling of well-being, the feeling of togetherness, that they are all, members of Starbucks. I think that has really elevated the experience of sipping the piping hot coffee and make it feel the best coffee served. There comes Starbucks in everybody's life. Thank you. This is from room number 2.
Good points. Very well covered. Very well covered. Good research that shows. I think it's very important, for, irrespective of whichever profession we are, it's very important to be a good researcher. Understand of course, time was a constraint over here, but in the given stipulated time, Sujata and team Vipul, I could hear some real good points from his side. I think you've done a great job. Thank you so much. Can I have room number 4, room number 3? Yeah, sorry.
3 now. Round 3. हाँ जी, Rajendra साहब, आइए. Very good.
Anilji, do you want to speak? I've shared the screen.
Please, you carry on.
Okay, sir. Okay.
We are all one.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Rajendra, please go on.
Yeah, I hope now the screen is also shared and everything is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajendra ji, boliye.
Basically, essentially what they are providing is an immense value in terms of in-time delivery of dabbas every day, reasonable charges, and no distribution. I mean, the best kind of delivery system, point to point, least overheads, and then creating actually that the sense of happiness among the family members, by giving the dabba on time and bringing it back. I think we don't know whether it is called as a strategy or something, but these are the very, very simple people who are giving actually extraordinary results through their service. So individual, I think commitment is at the heart of their strategy actually. They are the best, they have the best on-job training, and then all have a very strong community feeling. Basically, all of them come from the same community. There is no conflict, high synergy among them. Horizontal hierarchy means no bosses and subordinates kind of a thing much. They do not deviate from their duties, whether whosoever arrives or whatever happens around their surroundings. There's a soft spokenness with customers and themselves. They are actually from this. They are very spiritual in their behavior, which lead, and then they treat their customers as God. So me-centric versus customer-centricness comes in. Their hygienic, behavior, lifestyle actually. They are away from all sorts of things like tobacco chewing or any kind of liquor consumption, etc. Smooth coordination, taking care of the, if some person actually doesn't come at 11 point, they have a system to handle those exceptions so that people do not actually get troubled, their customers. And they have that world-known actually simple uniform symbolic system by which they are able to connect smoothly through that middle points where the transactions occur at the rate of actually almost zero errors, actually better than the Six Sigma and all those things. So that's what is depicted over here. And total clarity on the role responsibility and smooth handover. That's what I think results out of all these things. And they are actually modern. I mean, while they are actually, you can say that not much educated, etc., but they are very modern in their approach. They have actually taken to the COVID appropriate behavior. And not only that, but they are also able to actually extend their services towards courier services nowadays. That is what people are actually appreciating in Mumbai, especially. And I think their leaders actually at the topmost level. So they have been very vocal in actually establishing their brand across the globe, actually, in terms of the management teachings, what come out. So that's all.
Beautiful. Very well put.
Very good.
All relevant points put.
Thank
Good
you.
research. I can see that you have really understood their work strategy and the execution. Thank you so much. Beautifully presented.
And may I add one line?
Yeah, sure.
Rajendra, first time in life, I think, without mind map, you did so beautifully. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
That's all. That's all.
Thank you so much. Good. Excellent. Yeah. Can we have room number 4, please?
I think
much awaited room for me.
Good evening. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, Habib. Good evening.
This is from team number 4. I'm privileged to present this DMT case studies. Every moment is a joy and a fresh beginning. No program is as intensive as 5 months program with the cognitive and science behind the talks and each and every talks. Continuous support and community being built by this DMT, and his mission is to create masters by a master. Understanding the audience and the need of audience like archetypes and execution process, and the support system being established with the community-based learning, using a lot of visual tools, audios, kinesthetic, everything being taught to prepare the trainer with customer-centric approach Given the platform to practice with master guidance is the beauty about this mission. The outcome right now is let the globe hears you after those who has finished, completed. Now our turn to choose the choice and define with success as a world-class trainer. Aspire to inspire to prosper before we expire. Thank you. Anything team can add it.
I think Mr. Jagdish has raised his hand. Mr. Jagdish, you want to say something?
Yes, madam. Good evening. I am from room number 1. I could not share that time. I have researched some points from our room.
On IKEA, right?
Yes, yes.
Just give me a minute, please. Let room number 4 get over, then we'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That fantastic room number 4. Thank you so much. I got a gist of it. Thank you.
Yeah, the way you have done structurally, we have not done. We will correct it later.
Rajaji, you're in which room, Mr. Rajamani?
I am in room number 4 only.
Okay.
So we
no
missed the
worries,
bus.
you are still.
Yes, yes, yes.
I can see that, but still you have one step on the board. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Jagdish. Nonia, sorry.
The
please tell me.
mission of the IKEA revolves around attaining sustainable long-term growth for ultimate benefit of the supplier, customers, and employees. The main idea behind was to integrate the mission, vision, and core values of the organization together to benefit and drive innovation in overall business of IKEA.
Okay.
And the other point was to consider the affordability options for majority rather than being luxury item or goods, ensuring ultimate process levied upon the customers is on as low as basis, as low as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jagdish. Thank you. Value addition. Thank you for the value addition. Okay, quickly, guys, let me just take you about IKEA because a lot of people are not aware of it. Okay, IKEA is basically, it's very slow with its execution, but it has moved towards excellence in execution. The pendulum has moved very slow. This is basically an organization, which has found the right balance of strategy and execution. They have only one store in Hyderabad and they are doing extremely well. When I say revenues are skyrocketing, it may not be really skyrocketing, but today it's at the top of the mind recall. This organization model, business model is also, it's more about, do-it-yourself business. It's a do-it-yourself. It is minimizing the shipping cost by packaging the products tightly rather than in a rectangular box. So, it's cutting cost over there. No cartons are being used. It's very tightly packed. That creates a high volume of wasted space. So the wasted space has come down. So the number of cartons, the size of the cartons has come down. So operational cost has come down. I mean, whatever money is being spent. Assembly work is once done by the retailer, is pushed to the customer. So assembly work is done. Either you do it, they provide you a manual, or it is done and they help you for the transportation. Now, if you look at it, IKEA doesn't have any outlets. Bangalore has an outlet, which is only to pick up your stuff. It's a picking up point. Only store is in Hyderabad. They don't have any other stores. Major stores to go and pick up. Anybody wants to shop can please order online, and it will be shopped sent to the relevant pickup points if there is one in that particular country. I mean, in that particular city. Now, IKEA, if you look at it, it is very slow because why is it slow? There's a reason. They are very, very particular about the research. They are fanatical about doing its own research. They pay attention to details and taking the right action, offering the customers the best value. Customers are extremely happy. And part of the success of its organization is a slow execution speed. That's what I was saying. Slow execution speed. Why? Because it is allowing attention to detail. That is the biggest advantage of IKEA. Let me tell you, IKEA before entering India in 1980, they goofed up. When IKEA rushed into the American market without any due diligence. And, it was a shop for furniture. It quickly became a success, but without any growing pains. IKEA paid the price for not understanding the American culture. For example, they came up with beds, which is absolutely a wrong size of any US bed. US bed, they did not take into consideration. Taking example from that kind of, pain points what they had Today, they're working on those pain points to convert them into their gain points. Therefore, they're very, very particular about detail. And that is what the customer likes. Every detail, every aspect. So that's about just an understanding of IKEA, just for people who are not aware of it. Coming to Starbucks, I think, it's very beautifully put up by room number 2. Room number 2, right, Sujata? Room number 2? Yeah. Room number 2, it's basically, because at the end of the day, Starbucks is all about creating warm layout, beautiful decor in its stores. The warm and friendly behavior, what the employees, the employees know. And the first part is that if you don't like the coffee, you can exchange it across the table, across the counter. That's the best part. And I think, let me tell you, India is customarily a tea drinking nation. Let me tell you, it's not a coffee drinking nation. It was a tea drinking nation. Espresso chains have concentrated on giving a feel where individuals unwind, stay, relax, invest energy with one another. That this setup has, this setup has helped Starbucks to perform well, do very well in India. Otherwise, India, nobody wants to shell out so much of money. But the kind of atmosphere and the ambience it gives, that is where Starbucks has done extremely well. The ambience. Otherwise, there are a lot of companies which try to establish its foothold in India. A lot of coffee companies. Today, what are the top of their mind recall? Coffee means Starbucks, Cafe Coffee Days India, you have Baristo, that's it, only 3. You have small outlets, that's a different thing. But the major company, Starbucks. Everybody Starbucks means it's only Starbucks. There's nothing else, no other competitor for them on that level. So I think, and of course, very well said, India, Starbucks in India, thanks to its collaboration with Tata, today there is no looking back. When it comes to the last one, Dabbas, I think very well presented. Dabbas, Mumbai Dabbawalas, I just want to share that. I just bought it for you, just 5 minutes, and then we'll stop it. I'll not take much of time. This is for you, for people, because I really wanted to showcase the Mumbai Dabbawalas, how they have been doing it. Yeah. If you look at the Mumbai's Dabbawala lunchbox delivery system carried by Dabbawala is considered one of the best class models. Service excellence in logistics. They deliver approximately 13,000 dabbas, lunch boxes per day in Mumbai, from homes and restaurants to people at work. The lunch boxes are picked up in the morning, delivered predominantly using only bicycles. And
it is 1,30,000.
Yeah, sorry, 1,30,000. Sorry, yes, thank you so much. 1,30,000. Slip of my tongue. And lunch boxes are labeled. Somebody said the coding system. Absolutely. I think you did not throw light on the coding system, but I read it, Rajendra. It was fantastic. The Nariman point, each number, each numeric and each alphabet represents something. Where the lunchbox has been picked, which station to be sent, the final address of the owner. And this old-fashioned distribution system is more effective than your Uber Eats. It is recognized as one of the world's most efficient logistics system. Okay, the cost of the service is £6 per month. But of course, this is all I think this all you have covered. Last but not the least, this is what I wanted to show you. This is something which is very interesting. Look at the description of business model. They take up the lunchbox, collected by Dabbawala, sorted and put on a wooden crate according to the destination. Then it'll go 40 seconds to load. Look at the precision. It is being graded as 6 sigma because your number of accuracy is very high. Number of errors are very low. It is 3.4 million per million transactions. The rate of mistakes is fewer than 40 seconds to load the crates, 40 lunch boxes onto a train to the station closest to the destination. From there, and it is a two-way process. Lunch boxes are sorted out, assigned to another worker, ensure the delivery by cycle, not by cart. By cart or by foot, sorry. Either by. Then delivery at work in one single area by 1 p.m. A single lunch box goes through 6 dabbawalas before it reaches the consumer. The same applies for the return trip. Rate of errors 1 per 16 million deliveries. Absolutely a case study in HBR, in Harvard Business School. So this is just for your information. I'll leave it to you on one note. Okay, I'll not talk about it. Something to ponder about. What is your strategy in your organization? Whatever organization you're planning to become trainers, I'm sure with this kind of world-class training that you're undergoing under Mr. Arun's guidance, I'm sure you will be doing fantastic job. So just think about it. What is your strategy? How do you want to excel in this execution of your training? Take a moment to reflect on your execution plans. Have your organization's philosophy in place. After all, part of the leader's challenge is to strike the right balance between crafting the strategy and executing it for their organization. Please remember, only when a strategy is successfully executed do you know if it was a good strategy. Only when if it is well executed do customers notice the difference. Your audiences will notice the difference. And only when the execution succeeds does it positively impact the shareholder value. On that note, I take your leave, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a fantastic audience and for all the participation. Thank you so much.
Yes, Jyothsna, thank you so much. You have touched base with every dimension of our day-to-day life, especially coffee for bonding, furniture for a style statement, and the other two, which are an integral part of our lives. Very, very invigorating session. We've been very happy to have spent this time with you, and a lot of takeaway, great learning for all of us. And we look forward to more sessions from you like this. Okay,
thank you so much, Sujata. Yes, I hope I could. I hope I could do some kind of value addition in terms of sharing the knowledge in this 2 hours of your valuable time. Thank you for giving this time to me.
Definitely, it has added immense value. All of us have. I told you it's a great takeaway, especially the coffee. Thank you.
Thank you so
much. On this note, we will take leave, all of us, and get back tomorrow, Friday, session. And we look forward to each and everyone being a part of this, as well as Jyothsna. As many an opportunity, do try to join us.
Sure, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So with this, we come to a closing for today. The only regret, Arun sir isn't here to share a few words. Maybe he will do it twofold tomorrow, and then we get the essence of it. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
Good night,
everyone. Good night. Thank you so much.
Good night. Thank you, madam. Good night. Good night. Good night. Well done.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Sujata ji, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, Anil sir. Your ambience is excellent.
I am also regarding your also. Your audio I record. Now I will listen now audio.
Okay. All welcome.
To improve my English. Huh?
Oh my. You're all are seasoned.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Suma is not well. Even now, she is so committed. She is having high fever.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I think.
Sorry, I came back just to see Suma. Thank you so much for being there.
So,
I wanted to personally thank her. Thank you, Sujata. You've been a great support. I think you worked in the morning and, SOS in no time. Turnaround time. Turnaround time is very, very less.
No, old habits die hard. Being an academician, education came to my mind. Not
I was thinking, why didn't I reach to her earlier? I should have.
I'm glad it was done much before time.
And thank you so much. I appreciate that. Suma, please take care. Atulji, you were a little down today. What happened? All fine? Okay. Thank you, Anilji, for all the support.
Thank you. Thank you
so
for
much.
Wonderful session. Wonderful session. Wonderful.
Gigi, thank you. So good to connect with you all.
Thank you, Jyothsna. Thank you for taking time to give a session to us.
Today I have come with special dress, Jyothsna, for you. Tie
oh my God. Honored, sir.
And change my background also.
Yeah, your decor is too good.
Anil sir, you knew it was IKEA? You changed the decor?
IKEA is a wonderful.
Yeah.
I tell you my experience.
So you know about it, huh?
No. Once you go there, you will try to spend 4 or 5 hours inside. You won't come back.
Hey, sir, on lighter note, I am saying that you were knowing about the breakout room. You made the IKEA background before the breakout room.
I know completely Hyderabad, completely Chennai.
No, Mr. Vishal, Mr. Adil, you didn't get his point. He's saying is in a lighter vein that, knowing well in advance, you made an IKEA decor as your background.
On a further lighter note, if you are missing somebody, you will find her in IKEA. You will find that in IKEA, most of the people, you know, it has become so popular place now, IKEA.
Yes. Anil sir, Anil sir, I object. You will find them at Starbucks, not IKEA.
No, I am not competing with you, ma'am. No competition.
Coffee, the fuel.
So,
okay.
I am from Dabbawala. I am not from IKEA today. My brand is Dabbawala.
Good.
Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Dabbawala in Thai suit, huh?
Yeah.
Dabbawala
in Thai suit.
Group.
In Thai suit.
I am in Dabbawala group today. Magar Atul Sahab, if you go to Hyderabad, please do visit IKEA. It is in high-tech area. You will enjoy.
I went twice to the door and I came back because of the crowd.
This is what I told. This is what I told. You know, you don't get even. Once there was a police with lathi charge. You know, it was there.
Something?
Right in the beginning. In the beginning, there was a huge crowd.
Hi, madam.
Done, sir. We'll take leave all of us.
Good night.
We'll get back tomorrow. Thank you, Suma.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night, Sujata.
Thank you.
Good night. Suma, take care, Suma.
Thank you. Sure.
Bye. Yeah, good night.
Bye, guys. Bye.
End.